Before U.S. troops pull out of Afghanistan, Taliban grabbed most of the country and is standing to capture the capital, Kabul. Who to blame?
U.S. southern border sees the largest illegal crossing arrest number in 21 years. Exactly how bad is it?
The consumer confidence plunged by 13% in early August, reflecting people's fear for Delta virus and the surging inflation. How do you feel?
Feature story of the day: how Larry Elder, the leading California governor candidate, sees the problems of California and his solutions.
Welcome to Wei and Kathy Show. I'm your host, Wei Fang.
And I'm Kathy Zhang.
All right, again, let's quickly talk about the feature story, which will happen on the Safe Chat. And the feature story has to do with the leading California governor contender, right? Larry Elder.
Right, it's 30 days away from the special election of a California governor's recall. So, the candidates are, just rushing to do their final campaigns. So let's get to know more about the leading candidate, Larry Elder.
Yeah, Kathy may make the trip, attended two events by Larry Elder in the last 2 days, so she will bring you the most recent update. All right, now let's first talk about the news of today. On the top of the list of the news, so Taliban sacked 4 major cities. It was 3, okay? As I was writing the news, the 4th was sacked. And so Afghanistan authority confirmed today that that has happened. So basically, Taliban is controlling these cities form the vital cultural and economic hub. So basically, Taliban appears to be nearing a complete military takeover. All right, only 3 major cities remain in the hands of the government, and one of them is the Kabul, the capital. Over the past week, Taliban captured more than a dozen provincial capitals in just 1 week. Okay, and then some American officials in Afghanistan fear that the government will implode within 30 days. All right, so White House officials now, so who to blame? White House officials voiced their frustrations with the former President Donald Trump when they were talking with the media. Why? Because they complained that Trump only left them with 3,000 troops in Afghanistan, forcing them to withdraw because there's no way to keep the peace with such a small force. Okay, but what's Trump's response? Trump criticized Biden's handling with a statement that was released yesterday. Trump said, "I personally had discussions with the top Taliban leaders, whereby they understood what they are doing now would not have been acceptable." And he said, "If I were the president still, I would have focused on a condition-based withdrawal, and it would be a much different and much more successful withdrawal." And Biden actually last month insist that Taliban takeover of Afghanistan was not inevitable. Why? He said because the Afghanistan troops have 300,000 people, as well equipped as any army in the world. Basically, it's U.S. military equipment. And also an air force against the Taliban, who has somewhat 75,000, so 4 to 1. So Biden said it's not inevitable. All right. However, the former U.S. ambassador to Afghanistan, Ronald Newman, today he told the NPR said that the decision to pull out was likely a bad decision. He said, could have stabilized or held the situation stable with the same force that we now found necessary to pull back in temporarily under adverse conditions. And Newman said the United States is in a kind of a panic mode over how to handle Afghanistan, how to pull out, including handling the translators, because many people translate for the U.S. Army and U.S. government officials. And if the United States leave these people in harm's way, we are choking up an enormous black mark for ourselves, for our country, and for the future. So actually, people ask the Pentagon about this. Is this similar situation to Saigon, if you still remember, during the end of the Vietnam War, in the panic withdrawal, they left so many people behind. And the Pentagon spokesperson said, I wouldn't like to talk about the history of Vietnam. This is a different thing, but we'll see. So in 30 days, actually, the withdrawal was meant to be on the August the 31st, which is 17 days later. And now Taliban is taking over the whole nation. Just a few months. See how big the difference is. Who to blame? What do you think? Type up your comment there in the chat room, and we're watching that as we do the next news. So next news has to do with the southern border. Okay, there's some update today. So what is the number?
All right, so let's take a look. The U.S. Custom and the Border Protection just released the statistics related to the flood of migrants pouring over the border illegally, and they show more than 200,000 individuals were arrested in July, which is the largest number in this year. Also, a 418% increase compared to the same time last year. This total does not include the roughly 700 to 1,000 illegal aliens who DHS officials said they have been successfully crossing the border every day. Okay, that's every day, 750 to 1,000. And the Border Patrol encounters with unaccompanied alien children increased 24% from June to July, with the average number of unaccompanied minors in CPB custody at almost like 1,400 a day, compared to the average of 794 a day in June, which is a 72% increase month over month. After today's data release, Senator Tommy Tuberville, who is the Alabama senator, suggests that the DHS Secretary Mayorkas should consider stepping down as DHS chief. Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton also said in a post online that Mayorkas has failed and he should resign.
All right, let's move on to the next piece of news. As you all know, Michigan Confidence Survey number is widely watched by economics and by people in the different all economic areas. And then they measure the U.S. consumer sentiment index. All right, it fell sharply in early August, which is now with this number plumbing. The plumbing depth not seen in a decade, as U.S. expressed their worry about the personal finances, unemployment, and inflation. All right, so the survey was released on August the 13th, which is today, showed that the consumer sentiment index plunged from July's reading of 81 to today's 70, okay, hitting a level not seen since 2011. Okay, so this 13% slide was one of the sharpest in percentage terms in the past 50 years, all right? And then the exceeding only by an 18% drop in 2008, remember, the financial meltdown, and the 19% fall in the April 2020, which has to do with the pandemic. All right, so those are what are the reasons? Okay, two reasons. One is the Delta variant. So infection has doubled in the past 2 weeks to reach a 6-month peak. And the survey reflects the emotion response mainly from the dashed hopes that the pandemic would soon end, as we thought so before July 4th. And then another worry come from the inflation. Okay, consumer inflation stand at 5.4% in the 12 months through July, matching the June figure, so still stay on the peak, which was the highest 12-month spike since 2008, the financial meltdown. So that's the major news. Then next, we're going to quickly move on to the feature story of today, the leading contender of the California governor race, Larry Elder, and Kathy interviewed him and talked.
Actually, he came to
attended
the
his
Bay,
event.
right?
Yeah.
Larry Elder came to Bay Area. It seems to be the campaign is really focusing on all over all over the California, but the Bay Area is one of the major stops for both Larry Elder and Governor Newsom.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting. I think I report to you, if you still remember, okay, between ethnic groups and who are for him and who are against him, Chinese American, 30 for him, 70 against him. It's a little hard for me to believe that number, but if that's the case, that this small group may become the crucial minority who can change the whole balance. And anyway, so. But this is, we're doing our Chinese show, but this is the English one.
Yeah,
anyway.
But actually, it's really the California governor's recall election becoming the nationwide focus.
Right.
Why? Just
Yeah.
yesterday, Thursday, President Joe Biden actually tweeted to support Newsom. So we were going to talk about that when we move on to Safe Chat.
Okay, download Safe Chat, Google Play, Apple Store. Please download it, and then let's move over there. And a good number of people already there, watching us over there, which started from the beginning of this show. And we'll be wrapping up the YouTube program here. And thank you for being here. And please move on over there. And our operator, please post the link there. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Let's